It's Bourbon Nights Live. How is everyone doing?
That's Chad. I'm Sarah.
Yeah, you know who we are.
I feel like most people in here probably already know that.
Yeah,
But just in case it's your first time joining, and if it is your first time joining and you like what you see, give us a subscribe down below. We're 5 away from 80,000 subscribers, which, feels good. It's interesting. Every time you tell me what the new number is, I'm like, I can't believe that many people voluntarily listen to my voice.
Voluntarily. I really thought that, well, I guess I should say I was hoping that we would be at 80K for tonight's live stream. But if 5 people can go tell a friend and get them to subscribe, then we will hit 80 during this live stream.
See, here's the thing, Chad, though. I feel like this amazing live crew, especially people who were watching live.
They've told everybody.
Also, everyone who's watching the replay. I feel like those people have already been tapped out for, like, the tell a friend thing. Because I feel like they've probably been telling their friends.
Make some new friends?
Oh, so you're going to put it on them, not on you. Okay.
I've done what I can.
Well, we can just keep making content and 5 more people will come eventually.
That's true. Yeah. If we don't hit that by the end of this live stream, it's okay. I just wanted to share it
Chad
with you all.
It's okay. Begrudgingly.
It's okay. Nosebleeds.
It's going to be fine. Me, I'm like, I'll probably wake up in the morning and I'll be like, look at that.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. We're going to do some vintages tonight. Vintages. And this is sort of a theme coming off of our Friday's video. No spoilers if you haven't seen it. But another thing that rolls into that is what's new.
Yes. So tell them what's new. Well, can I put something in our glass while we do this?
Yeah.
Okay. This made a little cameo on the episode.
This made
Which I see them in the chat.
Yeah,
you know who
Dave
they are.
and Amy. This was like the first frame of Friday's video. This beautiful thing, like if that's all you saw, you would think it was like an advertisement for Glencairn.
Right.
But this is
which it kind of is. This whole show kind of is. We should really ask them for sponsorship money.
Yeah. But this is a beautiful 2-glass Glenholder carrier. Glencairn holder.
Is that the right
I mean,
one?
it would go that way, yeah. But
beautiful.
Boom.
No, give it.
Well.
It came just in time for us to shoot the B-roll for that episode.
Imagine 2 are in there.
Lovely.
La 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 la. Going to my friends. Bourbon night.
It's nice though because we do take our own glasses with us a lot because you just like never know.
Yeah.
And this is so much easier to like.
At Whiskey Weekend.
Right, and we were like, "Ooh, we want," and they were like, "Ooh, okay, we send." And I was like, "That's so nice." But yeah, this is so nice to like throw in a bag or a backpack. For me, like a purse.
It folds and fits under a bed.
Right, exactly, and it protects your glasses, which is the most important thing. We like it a lot, and we just got it, and we're very happy about it. But I want something to drink.
Okay, pick something.
Well,
speaking of something to drink, but it won't be tonight. This will, I think, be going in our 50 bourbons from 50 states.
This is from John Wadsworth, by the way. I'll get to it in a second.
Yeah, a lot of this episode is sponsored by John Wadsworth, which
Thanks, John.
I saw in the chat. So this is from Ian and Leslie, and this is from New Hampshire State. And this is Old Man of the Mountain. Straight bourbon whiskey. It's 100 proof. Distilled and bottled by Tamworth Distilling in the heart of the White Mountains. Bottled in bond, aged 4 years. It's a beautiful bottle.
Lovely.
As you can see.
That episode is going to be one of those, like, slow burns.
Yeah.
We're going to have to...
We need to get back on soliciting other states.
Just to know what your answer would be, but
yeah.
soon enough.
So thank you guys for that.
So this is a 1973 Wild Turkey... 8-year, 101 proof, and it's from a decanter. And even just where we've had it sitting at that lower level, Chad, look at that rim. You guys can't see it, but there is. I mean, we do this every time, and I don't know why you ever think it's gonna work.
Just work.
Okay, but you're making.
No. Here we go. It was working. You just have to believe. Yeah.
So you can see. That's fun.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means. Is that good for my insides?
Absolutely. The 73.
This is the 73 turkey.
So John says that, 8-year 101, as you said, from a decanter. Clear juice, this is special. That's what he says.
Yes.
So.
It'll leave a ring.
Oh, good. We got a thumbs down. Thank you. Thank you, whoever.
They really keep us humble. Jason Connell says 80K hit.
Really?
Really?
No,
Checks phone.
Now, yeah. Interrupts live stream.
Wait. I gotta see.
Phone.
Refresh. Hey, we did it!
We did?
It says it right there. 80K.
81.
Oh, you
Wow.
all bear witness.
Thank you, guys.
Wow.
That's awesome. Now we get to celebrate.
Like, literally, I'm glad we chose this theme.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Because we love ourselves some
We do
vintage,
love some vintage.
Some vintage whiskeys.
And it is hard to come by. I know we talked about this a little bit on the episode, but I firmly believe that everyone should taste vintage. It would especially be fun to do like a then and now comparison to stuff that, that you can, like with Friday's episode, you could do a then and now comparison. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration, but
Yeah,
I really think that when you're planning your bourbon trail trip that you should budget for that, because it's just cool. Like, it's an experience, it's a piece of history. In my opinion, it's as valuable as just taking a tour. But that's just me.
No, I feel you. And actually, in the comments, we've been getting a lot of comments on that episode. That's really great. Someone said, "Thank you for that idea," because I wouldn't have really thought about, a trip to Kentucky, or really a trip just anywhere that has good bourbon bars. Thought about it that way, where like you could take all that money and, as you said, put it into the $5, $10, $20 tickets for tours, and that's still something great to do anyway.
Sure.
Or you could just go to bars and be like, well, I've never tasted this before. But you could also have like your little wallet built up of, this is my vintage money.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you budget for your trip,
Yeah.
make yourself like a little vintage budget, or just like a tasting budget. You can go to Justin's, and I think they start doing tastings at, if you're going to Lexington or Louisville, are like $50 a person, and they almost always...
You should probably clarify it. When you mean tasting, you mean
reserve a tasting in their speakeasy.
where it's a flight.
Because they can do tastings starting at $50.
I didn't want people to think the cheapest thing at their bar was $50.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good call. No, they have much more affordable options at their tasting bar. Yeah. However, you can go in there and get a pour, or you can have them do a flight for you.
A lead flight.
And there's almost always one vintage in there. Yeah. So that's also fun, because they kind of mix them up and give you some different, peeks at other things. That's fun. We got some super chats.
Wowzers, we do. Hold on, I want to make sure I don't...
Ray was the first one, I think.
Was Ray the first?
Yes, you're scrolling. It's making me feel... It's making me feel dizzy. I'm going to keep drinking this while you find it. Good luck.
Wait, why? Okay,
it's right there, because you just went right past it.
Zoom!
Ray says, congrats on 80K. Thank you.
Wow, and that's a
big one.
That's a color we didn't even recognize.
I know, right?
I was like, wow, Ray, thank you. The King of the North.
He is King of the North. We will take that chair for him.
Yes, we will. JG saying congrats. 877 mash now. It's my whiskey and I need it now. Thank you. Joseph Brazo saying 80K. Wee. He's like that pig from the Geico commercial.
Oh my gosh.
Wee. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes. How could I forget when you do that?
True. Big Vic?
Big Vic says, congrats on 80K, guys. Cheers.
Thank you much.
Thanks so much. I see all the congrats in the chat. You guys are awesome. Sting the Third says, shout out to 80K. Found your channel this year and hope to follow for many more.
Thank you.
Yay.
You Sting.
Thanks.
And say hi to Sting the first. You're the original Sting. And the second. No, thank you for following us. We appreciate that. And our friend James Wolverton.
He said 80K, awesome, well deserved. Thanks,
James.
Thank you,
James. Just talking
hey,
to
James,
him.
I'm repping you.
Just talking to him today, actually. Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, big triangle for
big triangle. Cheers
all
for
those.
all those.
Kicked off by Ray, King of the North. Brought home by James. Thank you guys so much for helping us celebrate 80K today.
80K today.
Whee!
What a nice start to the week.
Pretty good start.
Yeah.
And thank you to John Wadsworth for the sample of this.
For basically helping us celebrate via giving us all these samples. This is chewy.
Oh, dang.
Is this like chewy caramel? It sounds really weird, but like a stick. Like if you were to chew on a stick but it was delicious.
So if you were
It's
a
got
dog,
that, like, if you were a dog and there was a
chewing
caramel
sticks-
covered stick,
Okay,
this would be
gotcha.
your jam. No, I mean, that sounds gross, but I mean it in a nice way.
I
It's
kind of
got
think
so
of
much
this
wood.
as wow, what a finish!
Yeah?
Dang,
Dang.
like a melted Werther's original. Like it's just got like a boozy melted Werther's original.
John, cowbell cheers for you, because he says, congrats on 80K. I tried to go with the theme, but I can't figure out how to choose specific numbers in Super Chat. You've given us enough for this episode, honey.
Thank you, John.
Poor John.
Thank you.
You'll figure it out one day. No, I'm just teasing. Thanks so much.
I mean, I don't know if I know.
You're already going with the theme.
The times that I've
You're
super chatted, I
involved.
think I pick a.
You pick a preset number.
Pick a preset. Yeah, I think so.
Love that.
So I'm not sure. So John, he dropped these to us a little while ago, but we always want to share exceptional pours when the cameras are rolling.
Yes,
Which
Ray.
I know that isn't why people, give us things. They just want us to enjoy it, but it's just what we do.
Well, not all. I mean, we try.
Yeah, not always.
No, not with
But
everything.
but we do try. But John said, and I hope you're okay with us sharing this because it has your social security number and some passwords in here. That's weird that you included that in this letter. But he says, the meetup in 2019 was awesome and is something that I regularly share with friends today. He said, that's where, wait, where did I read that? He said,
Ooh, I want all these.
I could have swore I just read this a second ago, and he said that that's where he first had some vintages.
I don't know. I think maybe you made that up.
Wow, maybe I did. No, here it is. The Dusties. I was just in the wrong part. First introduced to Dusties at the Halloween meetup last year. You guys introduced me to something that completely blew me away.
Was it the Old Crow Chessman? Because at the meetup, we did have the Chessman at the bar at, Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Oh, the Vintage Bar at Bardstown.
You...
Could have been. Oh, well, there was some crazy pours going on that night. There was, the Eagle Rare 101, the 10-year, it's a cheesy gold foil.
Yes. Can I have this? This is a Chessman.
Absolutely.
It's a green queen, in case that matters. It does.
Matters to me.
No, I like knowing where it came from, but I just mean, like, it's the same thing as when someone's like, got an L-top Blanton's. Like, that's cool.
A few more super chats while you pour that, Sarah. Brett says, congrats on 80K. Your videos got me through the pandemic. Well, that's awesome.
Wow, what a
Thank you.
testimonial.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Happy to help there. Ethan saying, congrats on 80K. Well deserved. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I can't wait to drink this.
And we'll give you both a cowbell cheers.
I feel like this is one of the more common vintages you see. A few years ago, it was probably a little bit more affordable than it is now.
Oh, absolutely.
And we were actually talking about this the
This
other
is the
day.
Chessman?
Yes, when it comes to vintages, one thing you got to look out for, especially with the decanters like the Chessman, is there's really no guarantee how protected the whiskey inside is over that much time, right?
Correct.
Because you can get, some cork rot going on and stuff. So people will be like, we've had people reach out and send us pictures of decanters, and they're like, this is still sealed. It's from, 1968 or whatever, and I'm thinking about buying it, but it's $1,200. What should I get it? And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable recommending that anyone do that.
Oh, really? I just said that. Yeah, go for it.
No.
Send us some.
Okay, but the thing is that's such a gamble because
Yeah.
there's no guarantee that it's not gonna have gone bad. We've actually heard that recently of someone buying like a batch of vintage decanters and having to get rid of a handful of them just up front because they had survived the test of time.
How many here in the chat, raise your hand if you remember a live that we did a couple years ago where we uncorked a 50 mil
That wild turkey.
Yeah, it was
From
it
Caroline.
was an actual turkey as the decanter, but it was a 50 mil.
We were so excited. We had been saving
Yeah, I
it.
was like, oh, and it had the tax, stamp or strip on it was in good shape and everything, and Oh, it was the worst. It had turned. The color was nasty.
It was bad.
We knew just from the color, but we're like, well, we gotta sip it.
And it smelled kind of
Oh,
acetone-ish.
yeah,
it was rough.
Not good.
But I still love those little decanters, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess worst case scenario, end up with a fun decoration that costs a lot of money. It's art.
Joseph Bezos says this looks like a root beer, and it does.
It does look like root beer. It's so...
1969, yeah, the Green Queen, as you said, decanter, clear juice.
It's a little butterscotchy.
Yeah, John says, you already know. There's not much for
You
me to
already
tell you.
know.
Yeah, it's... Wow.
A lot of them remember that episode, and John said it was nasty looking.
Okay, yeah, I got some hands in the chat.
Cooper57 says, look for Dusties at estate sales and auctions. That's actually a really good piece of advice.
Yes.
If you've got the time, because I assume, I think that people who just like go into stores and buy Dusties off the shelf when it's marked up a bunch, they have more money than time. Or you've been saving up for a specific bottle.
Sure. Yeah.
Our bottle came to us by way of some trades, some partial trades.
Oh, you're talking about
cash.
You're talking about Fridays.
I'm talking about Friday's episode.
Yeah.
For those of you who've watched, which I assume a lot of you who are in the chat because you are here giving us some time on your Sunday night,
Absolutely.
probably
Yeah.
know what we're talking about.
Oh, this is good. I can't remember the proof, but I feel like it's like 86.
Yeah, I think that's
90.
right. I think 86 is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just some... It almost has a little bit of like a mocha coffee note to it too, but it's mostly just like rich, syrupy butterscotch.
Yeah.
And I like the root beer comment though. Like if it was just syrup.
Well, it sort of has a little bit of a cola.
Yeah, it does
vibe.
have some cola. It's just like that sweet, syrupy goodness.
Yeah.
Very yummy.
Jeff Winbush saying,
Jeff.
howdy, kids. Vintage bourbon ain't the same as good bourbon necessarily.
That's
very true. That is very true. Yeah. There's some things, when people will pay big bucks because it's old, but they made not great bourbon back then too.
True.
So it's all just kind of knowing what you're kind of looking for.
And again, over time, things can get funky. So like, older isn't always better, both
True.
in terms of years on the label and how long ago it was made.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some brands that I think not do a really good job. I guess did a really good job to where I don't think I've had a vintage that I didn't like from Wild Turkey. I don't think I've had a vintage that I didn't like from Beam.
Correct.
But I would say I haven't had a Chessman that I didn't like, but I don't know if they're pre-tasted. I've never bought one.
Right.
So,
Scott's want to know, we do episodes on Friday?
Scott.
Yes. Friday for
He knows.
for everyone else.
He
I
already
know he knows. Yeah, JG's saying he kind of missed the kitchen table set. You missed the kitchen table set and the bourbon night. I gotcha. Yeah, when we were at our other location.
You miss it?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like the lighting is much better. And it's cooler here.
It is cooler, and it's also more of a permanent setup and less of a setup and tear
it down
every single week.
Which is really nice.
Makes life
I get my kitchen table back
a lot easier.
Well, I don't have to ever give it up, which is great for me.
And the Bourbon Night, although not in the shot, is still around. You see him
around.
every year during the Bourbon Night Awards.
Yes, he will stay around for that.
Yeah. And he may make other, pop-ups.
Let's see. Will you throw up Justin Jenkins' comment?
Yep.
Said, have an 80s UK Wildcat bookend. Love it already. With Van Winkle in it. Think it's any good.
Oh, I've heard about... I don't know if it was a bookend, but I've heard about some type of UK, and that's University of Kentucky, for those not familiar, tie-in with Van Winkle. But that's all I can tell you.
I've also heard of this.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. And that's one of those where, like, I also don't feel comfortable giving the advice of whether you should open it or, like, sell or trade it. Mm-hmm. Because I think if you sell or trade, what I know is that you can get, it's probably valued high. So you could probably get a couple of really good things for the value of it that you would know that you would like. Versus, again, it's basically a mystery box with a question mark on it, right? You don't know... What's behind door number 1? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'll take the curtain.
Okay.
Where does one find vintage bourbon? As we said earlier, estate sales, home liquidations, those type of things.
You see so many of those things where like people are like, I was going through my grandmother's basement and I found a case of this old, and they pull it out and it's like, 1960s.
Like, I don't know if it's good anymore,
Yeah.
but and depending on who's at that auction, you can get stuff for some really good prices. But otherwise, there's sites who have a license for it.
Sure, I've never gone that route personally, so
the problem with that is you better hope that the picture they're posting is the actual bottle, so you can at least from the picture
Not
try
dollhouse sized.
to discern if it's if the fill level is where the picture is, if the cork looks like it's in good shape, if there's a faux text stamp over it that it's in good shape, and so forth.
Yeah,
that would be hard. And then
locally,
there's stores.
Right. We have a store locally that has license to buy and sell vintage. That's Justin's House of Bourbon. And there's one in Lexington and there's one in Louisville. So if you're ever in Kentucky, it's just worth a stop in. It's fun. Even if you don't get anything, it's kind of fun because it's almost like stepping into a little museum. But they also will do some vintage bottles or vintages by the pour. So if you want to at least try one, they're probably going to have one on their bar.
Plus they have the regular old,
and they have regular stuff too.
Today's bottles.
Yeah.
Big Vic saying, pop my IBN Knob Creek Mash Made in Heaven pick, and the only thing I can say is, oh my god, OMG.
You gotta do it.
Exceptional mouthfeel.
He said, thank you guys. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. I'm so surprised that that's kind of had its own second wave of popularity because, most of that's been gone since 2019.
Are you saying the world's top whiskey taster?
Oh, his favorite Knob Creek. His favorite
Jim Beam.
Blind.
Including some Booker's.
Right.
Blind. That is a feather in our cap that we will take greatly.
Stefan? Yes, I'm going to go with Stefan. Says, been watching you two for almost a year and forgot to subscribe. but you did it at the right time.
That's
We're so
okay.
happy that
Thank
you did. Better late than never, as they say, right? And
Yep.
he's been here.
Yep.
80K is reason enough to rectify that brain burp. When's your next trip to Chicago? Well,
we don't know.
Potentially.
Sure. Oh, right, for the... right.
We're bad, though. We still have to enter our video for Bardstown Bourbon Company's World's Top Whiskey Taster.
Yeah.
But if we will enter, but if we do get selected to go to regionals, our regional would be Chicago, which is like somewhere in late September.
And you can bet we'll be going to Delilah's.
Yes. I've heard they've gotten a little refresh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I heard it got a little refresh in there. So I would be excited to check that out.
Here, let's just do a cheers for those super chats.
We will see.
Or cowbell, okay.
Because there's no guarantee that we're going to make it.
That's right.
Don't count your chickens.
Yeah.
As they say.
Does Justin's guarantee the quality of the Dusty? I mean, quality, when you're talking about a consumable, I think is a little too up for interpretation.
Because, they can't open it. I mean, the people who work there are trained to be able to spot fakes. And they know about years and stuff of, as far as, especially Caroline, will know, this year is better than that year, and, this is the year when they switched the mash bill or whatever. She's kind of an encyclopedia. But as far as, being able to say, with regular bottles, I think it's a little bit easier. When it comes to decanters is when it's a little bit harder.
Exactly. If it's a clear bottle and you can see the liquid, you can kind of know just from eyeballing it whether it's oxidized, it's turned or not. Decanter, especially those old lead decanters.
Yeah.
You don't know if that's seeped in or if the seal just hasn't been that great. And then I would say decanters are the hardest, the biggest gamble as far as vintages.
Exactly how I feel. It's like I said, it's a mystery box with a question mark on it. Nobody can really know until you taste it. But as far as other bottles go, they have probably, from anywhere I can drive to, the most knowledge, and I trust their recommendations when it comes to that type of stuff because I feel like I'm going in blind. So
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. we had
It's a tough question, though. It's like, I mean, I guess a wine is the same way, you know? Oh, yes, this is a good story.
Yeah, so this was given to me for my birthday. It was a birthday present from Jeff, who is the Angry Asian on Instagram. If you guys aren't following
Angry
him,
Asian guy.
if you're on Instagram, you should go follow Angry Asian Guy.
He's also makes cameos in your favorite TV shows and
That's
movies.
right. We're watching New Girl, and we're like,
wait, I know that guy.
that's Jeff.
That's Jeff. We had drinks with him.
Yeah. So the cork broke, so we had to do the, strain it into another
Bottle.
Yes.
I'm going to choose something else.
Which became this one right here. But you can kind of see, I mean, this one was like you could taste the funkiness, but it was still pretty clean. But you can tell that this is not the original color. I don't know how well this is showing up. You can see it's a little cloudy.
It's a little murky, yeah.
But there was no way of knowing that in this. But this is Stitzel Weller juice. This is Old Commonwealth.
1989, 80 proof.
1989, 80 proof. That's right. And
there was no way to know until we opened it, you know?
I'm gonna actually have a wee bit.
Okay. Can I have this 1979 Eagle Rare?
Sure.
Thank you.
Also, thank you, John Wadsworth.
Yes.
So far,
Hey, we just hit 80K. Don't police what I'm drinking, okay?
I'm not. We've been pulling from the John Wadsworth collection, but we've had
the John Wadsworth. It sounds like he came out with a line of clothes. The John Wadsworth.
Who are you wearing?
John Wadsworth.
Who are you drinking? John Wadsworth. But we've had a lot of awesome people who've sent us some vintages.
Yes. This probably won't be the only vintage episode. So if you have more vintage questions and they didn't get answered tonight, just jot them down in your things I want to ask. It's Bourbonnight Journal.
Yeah. Tiffany and Jamie, which we do have.
Oh yes, we do.
We do have something right here. We have a.
I thought about opening that next, but then
Bourbon
I wasn't
Deluxe from 1980.
I've kind of been going
Just my birth year.
in year order now. So the next one we have a Michter's from 1980, and then we have the Bourbon Deluxe from 1980.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a 89 Turkey, which is my birth year.
That's right. And we have a 1918.
Oh, I've admitted that out loud on the internet, so I could never lie about my age in the future. I still don't know, I don't know how people got away with that. In the age of digital, I feel like it's too easy to just look it up.
Oh, sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'm gonna have to get some. And this is good. This is actually.
Just stop it with that.
Stop it, but don't stop it.
Stop it.
That's another thing about vintages is a lot of times they don't drink like their proof. Like this being 80 proof,
The
still
flavor
got
is so
a
rich.
lot of flavor.
Yeah, the mouthfeel is still there. And that's, I think, what I miss the most from, the days of yore.
Oh, yesteryear.
That we don't get today is like, I can drink this. I mean, this is 101 proof. But you can drink an 80, 86, 90, and you get that rich mouthfeel, all that flavor, that butterscotch and caramel.
This
and the
has improved since we uncorked this. I feel like some of that, some of that little bit of funkiness has kind of been quelled, smoothed out.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Now that it's had time to settle down.
Yeah. Okay, I think this one will officially go to a Patreon meetup.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, I know.
It with some crayons. You know.
I know where. It's a secret. It's not a secret.
There you go. Got some super chats.
It comes after October and before December, maybe. Maybe then.
Yeah, maybe then.
No, he didn't like that. He doesn't want to commit to it. All right, we do have some super chats.
All right, let me scroll up.
I don't know why. This is going straight to my face today. I haven't had anything to drink before this.
Face.
And I just ate, so I don't really know. I must just be in a really good mood.
It's 80K, baby.
It is 80K.
Eric saying even whiskey that was really good 30 years ago didn't age well through time.
Even whiskeys that were really good 30 years ago didn't age well through time. Some, sure.
Sure, yeah.
But were they opened? Because that makes sense. But if they weren't, I mean, I guess it just depends on the bottle.
Expand upon that, please, Eric. We're interested. But thank you for that super chat. We greatly appreciate that.
Todd Cooper.
And Todd Cooper with a big 80K.
In his birthday week. Really, Todd?
Yeah, Todd. Jeez.
We should be gifting you a super chat.
That's right.
He says, congrats on 80K. Dusties on Dusties on Dusties. What a great way of celebrating. Cheers.
Dusties on Dusties
you know
on
what?
Dusties.
I'll do a triangle.
But yeah, we're not We're not in no way dismissing that, Eric. We agree. Even whiskeys that were really good 30 years ago don't age well through time.
I mean, I think
yes.
there's no guarantee, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
that's very true.
some people will open bottles even of today's age and be like, I must have gotten an off bottle, or even case in point, single barrels today, I think, are that gamble of today. Because you can have, as we discovered with our E.H. Taylor episode, you can have an amazing single barrel, and then you can have one that tastes like old wet hay. And you paid the same amount of money for it. Now, you didn't pay the same amount of money as what you would pay for a vintage.
Or you could get a single barrel of King of Kentucky and
pay
not be willing to pay $15 for the bottle, even though it costs you close to $300.
He's still cranky about that.
I am, especially because I know that there's good bottles of that out there.
Oh, this has a lot of cherry and oak. This is a chocolate covered cherry. This, by the way, again, is the Eagle Rare 10-year from 1979. You ever look at something and you say the words and in your brain is like, was that right?
Constantly.
Is that how?
Every time I read a super chat.
I'm like, is that how you say that? 1979. That's right.
There's times we have stuff that I want to say, this tastes really intoxicating. But I know that's a duh statement because it's alcoholic. It's an alcohol.
No, but it's like it takes you over, right? In a way.
That's what
when
I'm meaning.
I'm not actually intoxicated, the taste of this one thing, it just like
is intoxicating.
Washes over you and you're like in its trance.
Yes, this is the 79 Eagle Rare. 79 Eagle Rare, 10-year, 101 proof from an Eagle decanter. Clear juice. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So a little side story here. It said, we stopped at Willett before the meetup last year, and they had a 1982 Eagle Rare 10-101. It blew my hair back. No ball jokes. Okay. The pour at Willett was probably the single best pour of whiskey I've ever had. He said so.
Oh, he said so. I was like, what a jerk. He gave us all this stuff.
So. This decanter is not quite on that level, but it's still really special.
This is really good. Something we didn't even mention, though, when the question was asked earlier, how do you get vintages?
Yeah.
Another great way is to find, like, there are some bars
Go to bars, yeah.
that will carry them. For example, Bardstown Bourbon Company in Bardstown and Willett, also in Bardstown, both have some vintage pours on hand. Bardstown has an entire vintage library. So, again, if you don't want to buy a bottle...
Their library is a little bit bigger than ours.
It's bigger than ours.
But ours is packed deeper.
That's true.
So I feel like if we spread this out...
But it's not all vintages in there, sis.
Well,
yeah. Oh, it's okay. You did it good. You did good. It's a good library. Okay. Anyways, that's a good place, too, to go. Because you can buy the pour. I don't know if we've been out of state and had a vintage library like that. I think... I've never been to Jack Rose's in Washington, D.C., but I've heard that they have vintage stuff.
Will.
What's that other one? Multnomah Whiskey Library in Seattle or Portland? Seattle, I think.
Okay.
They're supposed to also have like a good library as well.
This is lighting a really good fire in my chest. It's not like heat.
A little campfire.
Just warmth.
Just a little warm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Daggone.
Everyone's telling Todd Cooper happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Todd Cooper.
And Tony's here. Tony says, Todd, not sure if the cake will make it, but have acquired some whoopie pies, and I'm out of Taliskers. Aw. Tony's friends with Todd. He's getting ready for his birthday. How cute.
To Todd Cooper.
To Todd Cooper.
Raise a glass, everyone.
His birthday.
I feel like as we're doing that, we have to also say to John Wadsworth for a lot of these pours.
I just drank. Okay.
And if I could say a few things. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, don't you make me do it again so quickly.
Wow.
This one leaves like the flavor that lingers in your mouth. Again, it's that chocolate covered cherry. I think all vintages have a little bit of that extra caramely goodness to them.
This one does have some heat to it.
It does.
It's got some residual
sits right here.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's like a Red Hot.
It's a little warm. Feels good.
Like, this is hotter than the 114 proof unnamed whiskey of Friday's episode that, if you haven't seen the episode...
I wish we could have some of that.
Well, we can. Technically. We can. Don't be... Look what's in front of you. Don't be sad.
I'm not sad. I just want what I want.
Wow.
I'm very spoiled and also an ass.
I don't see anyone disagreeing. Wow. Yeah.
I know it's true. I know thyself, okay?
Yeah.
I know that I'm spoiled when it comes to whiskey.
Sean's saying Frankfurt Avenue Liquors in Louisville has
I've
a large
heard about
bourbon
that.
selection.
You're the
with
second
some-
person.
Yep, with some vintages on it as well.
The second person this week, I feel like, to suggest. Unless it was you twice.
No, different
okay.
person. Different person.
I gotta write that down. One moment, please.
Oh, man.
You talk.
I got the feels in the chest. This is unlike basically anything I've had before. Wow. Yeah, old Eagle Rare,
Got it.
man. This is back, what were they then? Ancient Age? Or were they weren't still the George C. Stagg distillery.
Adam Terry
Something
joined at the right time. He said, spoiled? No. He already knows.
Adam Terry.
Adam, I hope your little baby's doing good.
How are you, buddy? Woo, man. Am I selling this too hard? I'm sorry, but
You're selling it pretty hard. And I'm drinking it, and I'm like,
It's just
is
got-
this... I mean, mine's really good. Really
it's
good.
101 proof. Like, this is really hugging hard. It's a hard hugger.
Do you think we're doing a disservice to these vintages by drinking them back to back to back? Because I don't actually know how I feel about
Should
that.
they be savored slowly in a leather chair
Is kind of what I'm thinking.
around a fireplace?
But it's too late now.
Or at least a TV with a fireplace on
We're
it.
37 minutes in. It's too late for that.
That's true.
Buy a fireplace with a TV on? Or TV...
No, a TV with a
With the
fireplace.
fireplace on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do
Do you think we should... Wait, go ahead.
Is that Four Roses Eagle Rare, or is this before that? I'm not sure, Andrew. I'm not real
John,
up
do you
on
know?
on the history.
79.
79. I don't.
Every time I
No.
sip this, I get a different flavor.
It's a mouth hugger, yeah.
It's so good. I was gonna say, you mentioned the TV with the fireplace on it, and I was like, should we do another one of those, Yule log videos? Because, like, half the people were like, I love this is great. People who know what Yule log videos are. And the other half of the people who didn't know what Yule log videos were like, this is the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
I loved it. I love every comment on that video.
I also felt my anxiety was like during the filming of that, because I was like, I'm just sitting here, everyone's gonna stare at me, I'm not sure what to do with my hands, like, am I sitting right? Am I drinking too fast? Am I drinking too slow? What should I be thinking about?
Yeah, Scott says the toothpaste is out of the tube.
Toothpaste is out. You can't put it back in. It's too late.
I feel you. Oh, yeah, okay. Adam's saying that 79 is definitely Four Roses. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Old Apprentice.
Dang. This is hard to follow up, this one.
It's gonna be. Well, we have a 1980 Michter's pot still sour mash Bahamas Casino decanter. It's 86 proof, so we're gonna drop in proof. But we also have this Bourbon Deluxe, which is an 80 proof.
That's from Tiffany and Jamie.
So I feel like we go down to 86, then it'll be easier to go down to the Deluxe. And then if we have some time, then we can go back up to the Turkey 101 from 89, my birth year.
Are you
You want to do that?
just not seeing that?
I do see it. Okay.
I mean, we've done it before,
Give me them all.
but we didn't drink it all.
We didn't. We
So
saved
since it's
it.
a vintage, what we're talking about,
But look, we have some of the Eagle Rare left.
a true dusty, because it had dust on it. 1918. Yes, you heard right. 1918 Old Jordan Bourbon. This is from Matt from Whiskey Crusaders, which is
AKA one of the most generous people I've ever met.
And we did it on a live one time, but we saved. We have some left. Just saying.
They're like in the Yule log video.
We will be doing a version of that again this year. All I'll say
I don't even know about this, so.
Well, yeah, we've talked about it. You've just forgotten.
What am I drinking?
All I'll say is it would be a good time to be a patron.
It's always a good time to be a patron.
Well, yeah, when is it not a good time to be a patron? What do you mean?
Ooh, tiny announcement that we should make. Well, you decide. I've chosen up until this point, so you decide. We are undergoing some website maintenance, and we will be having a delay in processing our orders. So, yeah, if you place an order today, tomorrow, whatever, expect like a 5 to 7 day processing delay. The shipping is still usually pretty standard. I mean, the shipping will be standard, but yes, that is all I'll say.
There you go. And what site are you talking about?
WhiskeyAmbitions.com,
There you
our
go.
home on the internet, where you can get this shirt and these Glencairns, our 5-year anniversary challenge coin. We did sell out of the cut crystal glasses, but we will be getting some more in time for holiday. Not 5-year anniversary.
Time for holiday.
For holiday. Q4, as we call it in the biz, you know.
Oh, yeah, the big hats.
We have this new hat. We have another one coming. It's on a little bit of a production crunch. But yes, we will get more cut crystal Glencairns sans 5-year anniversary logo, but with a fun design.
It'll be voted on by the people.
New shirts coming in probably 2 weeks.
New design.
Fun ones.
Yep.
You're going to be real excited. A couple ones.
I got some information on this, I do believe.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Refer to my notes. 1980, Michter's Pot Still Sour Mash, 86 proof, Bahamas Casino Decanter. Pure tacky awesomeness, says John.
I wish he had put in a little clip art picture.
I know. Well, I meant
With
to
a smiley face.
Google these before, but, just didn't have the time. This one is just a touch cloudy, and I think there is just slight bitterness to it, but it's still very good. This is a great first pour. Bad us.
Bad.
Bad bourbon night hosts.
We didn't read it all the
No, I
way
did
through.
not
We
read
did
it.
when it came in. It's
Yeah.
been we've had them for a bit.
It's not as strong as some of the others that I've included. Yeah, we feel like gone down. We're going down in proof. We're totally
It's because you let me drive.
foobarred. Yeah. No. It doesn't hold up as well following some of the others. Well, we just torched this one. We're gonna get canceled. They're gonna take our time slot.
Ooh.
I don't know. The internet?
He said I tried to guide you. Poor John. Sorry, John.
Yeah. It's better this way.
But look at that fish in his avatar. That's a big fish.
It's a big fish.
That's a big fish.
It's a big fish, man. Where are you? Look at that fish.
Look at that fish. That's a big
It's
fish.
a big fish. It's this big.
Pretty big.
There we go. So I wonder who
We'll have
actually
to-
made this.
Revisit this one another time.
Ooh, that's candy.
It's very sweet candy, and it's really light, especially after the others.
Yeah, it doesn't look too cloudy. I mean, yeah, it's pretty. Sort of like the old Commonwealth we pulled up.
Just a little bit. I like it. It's nice and light.
Yeah.
It's almost...
But see again, decanter. Bahamas Casino.
Casino. I want to be
That's-
there.
That's weird. Another birth year though.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, why are these... Like, we can do barrel-proof episodes, and we're this far along in the episode, and I don't feel like it's hitting me this
You're
hard.
conditioned. It's like training. We don't drink vintage that often.
But why
It's
is
just
it
a different-
hitting me right here in between my eyes to where I'm like...
I don't know. It's like
I'm
I
in a
said.
great mood.
These are intoxicating.
Do you think... Yeah, do you think it's just because I'm so happy about them? Or, like...
Well, like...
I haven't had as much bourbon this week. Maybe
we-
my tolerance dropped a little?
Nah,
I don't think so.
We, more than anything else, will drink bourbon if we're drinking. But, that occasion when you... I don't know, you go to, like, to a beer or just some other liquor, and you're like, this is hitting me differently.
That's true. Beers do hit different. But I only drink beers when I'm doing outside work.
There you go. Yeah.
Because it makes it better.
Speaking of
When I'm doing Charlie work, I drink a beer.
Charlie work. That's Charlie work. There he is. There's Matt himself from Whiskey Crusaders.
Hey.
Hello, Matt.
Look what we
Yeah, we got that 1918
That
right
1918 Old Jordan. I think we should finish it. What do you think, Matt?
I would imagine that's an 80 proof, or I don't know. Back then, they probably weren't even like. There's two different ways you could think about it. Like,
I don't know.
tastes were kind of tamer back then,
Or they weren't.
or
they
it's
were used
like,
to getting whiskey and drugs.
if you're not doing 100 proof, what are you even doing?
Art says he's ready for a Frosty and fries.
Oh,
You guys, I have to say, I think my Wendy's days might be behind me. Yes.
they were getting ready to sponsor us.
I know. I love the callback, though, Art. And as good as that sounds.
I was up to be the new Wendy.
Do you think, how long? It's been a while.
Sure.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
I've been trying to be, not that it's good or bad. I've just been trying to not eat late night food after we get done here.
Wendy's or no Wendy's?
I try to eat popcorn. We have
Skinny Pop.
Skinny Pop.
Yeah, there you go. Patrick says, congrats on 80K. Thank you for being, I thought you were going to say, thank you for being a friend. But that's fine. Thank you for being you.
He basically wants to be a Golden Girl with us.
During the crazy last year and a half. I see you all more than my real life friends. And that, again, is how you read a super chat. But
Patrick, we are your real life friends.
thank you for being a friend, traveling down the road and back again. Your heart is true.
Out.
You're a pal and a confidant.
Oh,
I can finish it.
I know. Listen.
And if you threw a party.
Well, we're going to have to watch the Golden Girls then.
Invited everyone you knew.
That's great.
You would see the biggest gift would be from
me.
Gift would be for me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Not the first time I've sang the Golden Girls theme song on this live show. I am just now realizing.
I feel like it wouldn't be an 80K episode. We didn't even know it was going to be an 80K celebration episode.
If I didn't sing.
If you didn't sing something.
Theme song to
some pop
80s
culture
show.
theme song. Sheesh.
Woo! David Little.
I do like the Golden Girls.
Oh, they're great, right? Sassy broads. Congrats on 80K. It's been fun watching your channel grow. Thank you, David. We appreciate that. And
we owe a cowbell.
One more, and this will be
Jeff
for everyone.
Winbush. His always changing avatar, which I love to see.
know.
I love to see it. He said, good for you, Sarah. Leave the after hours eating in 2020. I'm doing my best.
There you go.
I'm doing my best.
Cheers, guys. Thank you for those.
That was sad.
Wow. It's for the earphone listeners.
Eric said second sip Sarah looks like she's in a house.
Second sip Sarah.
Yes.
Oh, you have the names.
I do
Sarah
have the
with an
names.
H. You're second sip Sarah.
You're Chaz.
Yeah, I got Chaz.
You want to be the corrector? I could give you that one.
How about the correct one?
No, the corrector.
Oh, doesn't sound as good. John Wadsworth of That Giant Fish is back again. Says Melissa is singing along with Chad. We should harmonize.
Melissa.
Totally harmonize. That cowbell was for you too, also. John
For you
Melissa.
too, also. Redundant.
You could be the pointer outer.
The corrector is you.
Well, we did not bring enough Glencairns
Well,
to the 80K party because we didn't know it was going to be an 80K party.
I didn't know that we were that close.
But you know what they say about an 80K party? An 80K party promptly stops at 9.
We do have an early morning. And we didn't know that it was going to be 80K. Rinse, rinse, rinse.
There's always next Sunday when we can...
But they're already celebrating with us.
Oh, no, yeah, I know. Yeah.
But you want to make it the thumbnail?
No, just for like part 2 or whatever.
Part 2.
Let's go.
Hey, if it means that I get to drink great stuff, then I'm in.
I mean, it doesn't have to be vintages. We can do barrel proofs for next week. Oh, you didn't want to...
No, I do.
Go to the 80 proof?
We don't... I can't get a nose on it.
I don't know.
It smells like nothing. But that's because it's in a little bottle.
It's in a little bottle.
I mean...
Take the genie out of the bottle.
Boop.
All right.
That's all that remains of this
1918.
103 years ago. When you put it that way.
Here, let us just drink something that's 103 years ago. That's when it was bottled. Not even
103 years ago.
Not even when it was distilled.
That really just sunk in my brain. And like 1918, because in my mind I perpetually think it's like 1998, even though that's absolutely not true. But you know what I mean? Like when you just think to think that someone described it this way, and it was like 1990 is to today what 1960 was when we were in 1990, like the 90s. So they're as far away from each other. So if you had in the 90s heard someone say, well, in the 60s we used to do, you'd be like, shush, go away. Mm-hmm. And that's how kids today feel. They're like, because we were like
go
oh,
away,
well, in
hippies.
the 90s we used to, and they're like, shush, go away, boomer. And I'm like, I'm a millennial.
Yeah, and I'm a Gen X or millennial,
You're
depending on
Gen
what
X
website you look at.
millennial border, whatever. Scroll down, please.
Zip. What does third sip Sarah look like?
Yeah, you don't even want to see her. Don't even ask me what vodka Sarah looks like. She looks like this fist coming at your face.
Vodka sucks.
It's not good.
I've heard that somewhere. Where have I heard that? Well, it really just appeared like I just shot a 1918 bourbon, but there was really just one one sip in this glass. That's different.
Woo-hoo,
that's
woo.
I mean, that's pre-prohibition. That is different. Very tea note.
Tea,
Mm-hmm.
soft, but there's also, I mean, I think it's been open in here for too long, because we drank, it down to almost the end.
This is interesting. I always like what grinds other people's gears.
You know what grinds my gears?
You know what grinds my gears? People calling their index finger their pointer finger. I mean, what are you? 8 years old? Sheesh. Is that a kid thing? Call it your pointer finger? Oh, because like they forget what their fingers are, so this is the one I point with. So.
But it's your index finger. Is they call it the index finger because like if you're reading, you're like
indexing?
Following along with this.
Index.
Or because you flip.
Middle.
Why did they call it that?
The one next to middle and pinky. Like I don't know the other names. This is index. This is pinky. What are these two?
Middle.
Middle. What's this one?
On this hand, it's your ring finger.
Okay, what about this one?
I don't know.
Your opposite ring finger?
I guess.
Your non-ring finger?
Who knows?
No one knows.
Somebody knows.
Unless it's used for hand sanitizer.
The deep
That's
questions.
Right. Deep thoughts with Chad and Sarah.
Chad literally looked at me the other day and he goes, did Hanson really only have one song? And I was like,
that was a hit.
What? Yes, it was only Mbop.
Then why were they so popular?
And I said it's because of 13-year-old girls. That's why they were so popular.
I could have sworn.
Like Beatlemania, but for Hanson. And it was just the one song.
Back when I was watching TRL.
They're not New Kids on the Block.
On MTV. They always had some stupid Hanson video on.
I won't get into that.
Yeah, okay. I could have swore they had less successful hits, but still hits. I couldn't name you one, but I just assumed.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Wow.
I was there. I was just too young. I was not watching TRL. That's Total Request Live for you. Wow. These aren't even high proof. It doesn't even make sense in my brain.
I mean, I had to check in on Britney Spears. See what she was doing.
Yeah. I feel like we didn't say enough about this. It was very. I mean, it was a mistake to go to this one in the middle.
Right.
Is what it was.
To put it batted clean up, yeah.
But I will say, I don't know. I still think that 70s, like mid 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s is like the sweet spot. Mostly 70s and 80s for me when it comes to vintage.
Yeah.
I really, whatever they were or were not doing, some people would say it would be cleaning the pipes so you're getting that like cast iron effect on the whiskey. Mm-hmm. Whatever they were or were not doing is working for me in that time period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Jay says the sip has happened. Sarah with an H is here. Yes.
It just takes one more sip. Just one more sip. Well, there's only one that we haven't tried, and we can't leave Tiffany and Jamie out.
No, there's two. But
No,
go ahead.
not.
Yes.
The 89. Well, we've had that before on a show because look how not full it is. We have tasted that before. Probably for your birthday since it's 89.
Okay.
This one we have not.
Just a little.
Bourbon Deluxe. We had a Bourbon Deluxe at Justin's House of Bourbon in Louisville.
Yes.
It was very good.
One of my favorite things I've had at Justin's House of Bourbon was the cow. From
the cow.
The cow, the old, it was Ezra B.
Ezra B.
It was 70s, and it was in a cow decanter, and I have a picture of me just, like, loving on it.
She was utterly in love.
Okay, you know I'm there whenever I think Chad's jokes are funny.
Thank you. I'm here all night until 9.
This smells like oranges and lemons.
It almost smells a little scotchy.
Oh, it almost does smell a little scotchy.
Very oat forward. Grain forward.
And citrusy.
Yeah, citrusy.
And bright. It smells like a lemonade.
We're down to 80 proof. We're also in 1980. This is Bourbon Deluxe, which is a Heaven Hill brand, if I remember correctly.
John would like to give you the Dad Joke of the Year award.
Thank you. I accept this.
That one was really good, though. Can you call it a bottle? It's a decanter. I mean, technically.
Yeah, it's a bottle.
It was a bottle. That was really good.
Liquor.
I loved that day. That was a fun day.
Huh. That is not like the Bourbon Deluxe we have.
Light, and then it goes into...
It is very grainy.
What is... Yeah, it's like oats.
See what the old Wadsworth has to say about it.
It's not...
Or... Probably nothing, because he didn't send this one.
He didn't send this one.
Tiffany, Jamie, are you
Are
you in the chat tonight? No? Wow, very citrus. Very grain forward.
Citrus, oats, grains, light, soft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it's 80 proof. But still, at 80 proof, the flavor... The fact that it has so much.
Yeah,
and the mouthfeel.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot going on.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, no,
yeah. It's got a lot going on for, a barely legal bourbon, right? If it was 1 proof lower, it wouldn't be bourbon. Barely legal bourbon. It does have a lot going on.
I don't care what you say. I'm gonna do me.
Who's shocked?
Nobody. Just try to control me. Oh, Chaz does not want to be called the corrector. So I say that because of this one episode of, and I know it didn't turn out well, and I know it wasn't great the whole time, but of How I Met Your Mother, when everybody realizes the things about each other that, like, makes the glass shatter, and the one thing that they realize about Ted is that he corrects everyone, because someone will be like, can I have a Kleenex? And he'll be like, Kleenex is a brand name. This is a tissue. And Chad will do that shit. And I'm like, I swear to God.
Everyone please chastise Trev for being late.
Oh, stop. Hi, Trev. I don't know if you were at the lake today, but if you were, I hope you enjoyed it.
Hopefully you had that.
I still like you, even though you correct me.
Well,
I like you less when you correct me, but I still like you. Come on.
Yeah. But if I didn't, who would? No one.
I don't need to be corrected.
Because you're not ever wrong.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
So let's get this trending.
You know what I mean, and you just choose to correct me anyways, even though you know what I'm talking about. Let's
get this trending. Shit my Chad says.
I don't want to do that.
So we are at 1989. Gone up to Sarah's year. Wild Turkey.
You sound so excited about that. Gone up to Sarah's year.
That's the... I have nothing against 1989. Come on.
Apparently he's very...
That's when Batman came out.
He also doesn't like Taylor Swift.
Oh, she has an album called 1989. Yeah, okay. Wild Turkey, 8-year, 101 proof. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now, let's see what the old Wadsworth has to say about this one.
The old Wadsworth. Like it's an old journal that he just...
Well, I don't know. Let me check the old Wadsworth. Okay, let's see what the Wadsworth has to say. Here we are. He says again, you know the story on this. Enjoy. All right. Thanks. Very informative.
Goodness gracious.
Very informative, the old Wadsworth. Sometimes when I get in a pickle, I have to go check the old Wadsworth and look it up, make sure I'm right.
Jonathan says, can we get a Patreon sample swap going? I need some of this cool stuff. Man, I really like that idea.
That'd be cool.
Organizing it at this moment in time sounds like herding kittens. It sounds difficult, but I love the idea, and I feel like there's something there. Let me marinate on that.
We'll marinate on that. Speaking of the old Wadsworth, says Melissa said she has a ton of shit her chat said. That's true.
Ray says the corrector sounds like a D-list Marvel villain who only goes around saying, actually, like Oscar from The Office. And it's so true.
Agreed, but I would put it in the DC realm because DC had some crazy villains. I mean, Polka Dot Man? You want to see the new Suicide Squad?
That was weird.
That's a legit
I felt like they tried
villain.
to go...
Well, no spoilers there.
Okay. Fine. It was better
It's
than
better
the
than
first
the first
one.
My goodness, it's better.
But
than
I
the first
still think they need to take a little bit more of the handcuffs off when it comes to the source material and allow themselves a little bit more interpretive. Everything doesn't have to be spelled out in your face. This is what it is in the comics in case you didn't know. This is exactly who it was.
Well, I think they do that because all of the other DC movies don't do that.
No, they're like, well, that was the thing about
They're
the
like-
first Suicide
they're
Squad.
like-
They were like, here's this person's card and all their information.
Well, okay, if we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this. So, Batman v Superman had just come out, and it
Wait, your mom's name Martha? My mom's name Martha. Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
And that's the plot to that movie.
how it should have ended. And it did not, it wasn't doing well, Batman v Superman. So they
I
got,
can't imagine why.
yeah, so they got all in their heads about it, and they had 2 cuts of Suicide Squad. We're talking about the one from 2016, 17? I don't even remember.
Years don't mean
18?
anything to me anymore. 2019 was last year.
Yeah, and audiences didn't like either one of them. But then they, a different production company than the company that is editing the movie edits the trailer. So they sent footage of the movie, what they had finished, out to a trailer house. I think it's called Trailer Park. Is this company? They only cut trailers, and they cut the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. If you remember that trailer for the first Suicide Squad, and everyone was like, "Oh, this looks pretty good." So Warner Brothers was like, "Oh, well, they're liking it." And Deadpool had just come out, and that was, an R-rated comedy that did gangbusters, right? So they're like, "Oh," plus all the Marvel stuff, Guardians of the Galaxy had done really well. They were like, "Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to make the movie just like this trailer." So they recut it, they did reshoots, and that's why we got this mishmash schizophrenic movie that was the first Suicide Squad.
It was bad.
All the suits getting all worried about it and totally screwed it up.
When will they just stay out of it and let it be one artist's vision?
At Warner Brothers, probably never. I mean, they did for the Nolan stuff, not since the Nolan
Not
stuff.
since the Nolan stuff, and that because don't get in the way of Christopher Nolan. Just let him be
Don't get in the
Christopher
way
Nolan.
of Christopher Nolan.
And it will be good.
Is the
It'll be good.
moral of the story.
I just can't.
Now, the
I just
Suicide Squad.
I just have no hope for DC at this
The
point.
Suicide Squad, which is the new one that came out, is Gunn. Why can't I think of his first name?
James
Gunn. I was like, Tim Gunn?
Nope, he's Project Runway, but it's okay.
Make it work. That's what he says. Make it work. Yeah, James.
He'll be like, what are you gonna do?
Make it work.
Make it work.
The director of Guardians of the Galaxy, so he wrote and directed The Suicide Squad, which wasn't a remake, it was a continuation because you had some of the same characters, but it was sort of like, oh, let's not talk about the first, we don't need to talk about the first movie at all. It was much better, but I feel like he was still handcuffed by the kind of the feeling and the direction that was taken in the first movie.
Because it's a continuation, it can't
It's
be
not
a total
reboot,
departure.
so it can't be a complete total. So it sort of had a, and plus audiences were I mean, a lot like going from.
I've opened the whole can of worms.
A lot like going from Thor: The Dark
parachutes
World
in
to Thor: Ragnarok. That was a
Thor Ragnarok.
big 180.
Ragnarok.
So much so when I saw it in theaters, I was like, wait.
But nobody
come
cared
on.
because it was so good.
Well,
the first two
we
Thors,
both cared because we saw it when we were both really sleepy. And,
I fell asleep.
And we were fighting to stay awake.
we weren't fighting. We were just fighting to stay awake.
Fighting to
It
stay
was like
awake.
a midnight movie, and I was really tired.
Yeah, so our first impression of Ragnarok was not the best.
But that's because
But
we slept through
the
half of
opening
it.
scene where he's like joking with the big fire skull guy, I was like, that's a little jokey right off the bat, a little too jokey. And that kind of just... But on rewatches, we're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get the Taika Waititi-ness of it. Mm-hmm. It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
But what a 180 from Thor: The Dark World, which is kind of a stinker. So maybe
The Dark World. Ugh.
they could have done that with the Suicide Squad.
I know. I agree. I think... I don't
But-
care what they did in the first one. If it didn't work as well as you wanted it to, don't try to make it still feel... Like...
But you had the same characters. Like Harley couldn't just
Same characters in Thor, and
Harley
they completely
wasn't-
just put a new style on
She
it.
wasn't a problem in the first.
No, she was like the only thing that saved the whole movie.
Yeah, she was the best part of it. Luckily, this one had no Jared Leto Joker.
I feel like you might be alienating some people right now, and also I
Well-
feel like a lot of people have stopped watching because we stopped talking about whiskey.
Look, we got a super chat here
Hey.
from Rain King.
Rain King,
Rain King. Thank
thank
you.
you.
I think that was for.
That was it.
There you go. I think that was for
I banged
all
it
of
on
our
accident.
superhero movie chat. That's what I'm gonna take it for.
Yes, me too. Yeah, Matt from Whiskey
Oh, it's
Crusader
Comics
said he
Night.
slept in Ragnarok also. I mean, Marvel movies are notoriously long, and we went to the midnight showing, so we fell asleep. Sean wants to know...
Where's Joker at?
Oh, yes, agreed. Sean would like to know, can we get a It's Bourbon Night Marvel movie marathon? We did that last year. We were like, we just got
That was a
Disney
2020,
Plus.
yeah.
We're inside, we can't do anything. What are we going to do? Let's watch all the Marvel movies in order.
I knew I liked Ray for a
Narratively.
reason. I did not like Ragnarok on the first watch. On second, I loved it. See, King of the North.
I gotta be honest with you, and I know some people are probably gonna still be like, I hate this movie. But the first time I watched Step Brothers, I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. I'm mad about it, and I want to leave. And I think I was just in a bad mood that day, because the next time I watched it, I was like, okay, wait, this is kind of funny.
Yeah, totally.
And now it's so quotable. I don't think that those movies are good because they're like good, right? They're just quotable.
They're
and
well performed.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because you know it's stupid, right? It's like
Cocoa Whiskey
slapstick.
Musings
Kilko.
says, off the rails, what whiskey would Harley drink anyway? Definitely.
It's got to be something a little unexpected.
Definitely
Oh, you already know what it is.
a bourbon.
What whiskey? It's got to be something that's unexpected and a little bit like turned on its head, don't you think? It can't just be what you think it's going to be.
What would she drink?
Well,
I feel
first
like
of all, I think she would drink something barrel proof because I think people think
Yeah.
that she
she runs on high octane.
right, she runs on high octane and like I think it is a pretty not you guys,
But it wouldn't
a
be
standard
all-
misconception
it
to think
wouldn't
that
be-
she would like some sort of a girly drink and then she actually wants to drink.
Yes.
She wants to shoot 130 proof whiskey.
It wouldn't be all fancy either. I think it would be something lower. I think it would be benchmark full proof.
Ooh.
Barrel proof, whatever they
so
call it.
something,
The 125
something
benchmark,
not high class or like
$22.
LE.
Right.
Something more attainable,
Yes.
but that's got a lot of kick. I agree with that totally.
That or Wild Turkey 101. But I think she would do.
Wild Turkey 101 is a
barrel proof.
good one, though. I agree. I think it would be barrel proof.
Robot Scott sounds like he's his own Marvel
Oh, he does.
hero or villain. So sorry we miss you guys with no Nola.
Nola.
Yeah, but
dig
we
it.
should hopefully see you in Austin. Great,
Yay!
great Robot Scott and Katie.
Yes, NOLA was postponed until March. It happens.
That happens. New Orleans Bourbon Festival is what that is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
In case
not New Orleans, the city.
New Orleans.
It's
Bourbon
not being
Festival.
postponed until March.
We will still be
It's,
speaking there in March when the postponement is.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be fun.
Harley drinks J&B.
Stefan says, back to the bourbon, please.
J&B. Wait. What's J&B?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't think people would want you to figure it out.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
No.
Okay.
But as far as getting back to the bourbon, I think we drank it all. So there's
Jack Daniel's
that.
Barrel Proof? Maybe that was it.
I don't think there's any more bourbon to have.
I don't think so.
Unless I can have some more of this.
Sure. Jeff Winbush says, I think you two nerds have a comic/bourbon show now.
So we've been talking
We've
about
always kind of
doing
had that.
a little branching out. Not a show, but maybe a podcast?
Oh, J&B is blended scotch. That's why
yes.
it sounded familiar.
He was thinking it was like a abbreviation.
Jack and butterscotch.
Miss Little Man says, look behind you. That's creepy. I
I don't want to, but I'm gonna. Look behind you. Oh, you said we don't have any more bourbon. There's literally walls of it.
Oh.
Would you expect to see the bourbon night just behind you for some reason?
I don't know what I thought was going to be back there. Yeah, we've talked about doing like a little spin-off podcast of like, you know, us talking about the stuff that we end up junking up the end of these episodes with. We just get excited. And I think that's kind of our like own personal brand, is that we like to pull in some pop culture. I mean, as present on our barrel pick bottles. You know, most of them are pop culture references, and that's kind of our thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it feels fitting, but I don't know. Anyways, I feel like that's enough. I feel like we don't have anything else of value to give this evening.
True. We're tapped out. We're spent. Our tank is on empty.
Say it one more way.
The cows have come home to roost.
Okay. Not quite, but okay.
Not to mix a metaphor, but...
You did.
I did.
You did.
Cool. Well...
All right.
Thanks for helping us celebrate 80K. That
Which
happened.
we didn't even know that we were going to do.
You guys were here for it. We're glad you were here for it. We'll see you guys Friday for our next produce episode and Sunday for another live.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. If you've been watching us for a year and haven't subscribed, make sure you are, please.
Like our good friend above, who we love because
Yes.
you helped get us to 80K tonight, so thank you. Everyone has.
You don't have to wait until the next time we're on like the precipice of something.
No.
Just go ahead and...
Already subscribed.
Yeah.
Don't you shame.
I'm not shaming. Just saying.
See?
I'm participating. I'm not hating. Whiskey cheers and good night to you all.
What a good way to end it, JG. Thank you so much.
Yes. We'll see you all next time.
And until then,
Drink more bourbon.
bye.